Hey there, it's Andrea, and welcome to the Voice of Influence podcast. When I first started the show back in April 2017, when I was dreaming it up, part of the reason why I wanted to start the show was that I wanted to get resources out there and inspiration that would help people to get their ideas, their voice into the world. And the reason why that was important to me is that I was noticing that there were a lot of people who tend to hold back their voice, their perspective, their ideas, maybe their solutions to problems that the world needs to solve. So when people hold those things back, it's really sad to me because I want to see them give their gifts and that that other people would be able to recognize that, oh my goodness, this person, they have some really important insight for me. That we would be able to make the most of human potential is essentially what I was shooting for. And a part of the reason why I wanted to do that was because of my own experience. My own experience feeling like my voice didn't matter, that I had something to say, that I wanted to say something, wasn't quite sure what I wanted to say. And for me, it was in the context of kind of this bigger realm of thought leadership, if you want to call it that. But I also was seeing it on that individual basis. So, individual people who had more to share, had more to say, had more to contribute, but maybe they were intentionally holding it back or they didn't know how to share. So that became a big driver for me for the show. And that is still one of the main pieces that we focus on is how do we help companies help people to find their voice, to share their voice, to take initiative, to exercise personal agency and do things that are really meaningful to them and fulfilling to them, but also super helpful for their organizations. So I thought today, why not go back to the place where it started for me, which is the book that I wrote and published in 2016. It's been quite a while now. I cannot believe it has almost been 8 years since I published this book. And I should share that if you want to read the book, you can get it on Amazon. Would love to have you read it and leave a review. But this book is really my own story. It is a memoir. And the very beginning at the first chapter, after I tell the story of the prologue, the first chapter really summarizes a lot of what I'm about ready to share in the book. But also, it summarizes some of this personal experience that I've had with feeling like I want to share my voice, but not sure if I can or should, or what will it cost me to do that? The title of the book is Unfrozen, Stop Holding Back and Release the Real You. And then underneath the title, there's this statement, the unexpected path to connected relationships and extraordinary impact. And the reason for that, and the reason why I say that it's unexpected, is that it was unexpected for me. The way that what I realized about myself over the course of my young adult life, it was very illuminating and it helped me to understand who I was. The book itself is broken down into 4 parts. I'm just kind of looking here to be able to tell you for sure what they were. Um, Section 1, forming the ideal me. Section 2, finding the real me. Section 3, hiding the real me. And section 4, releasing the real me. And my hope in writing this book was that other people might be able to see themselves in my story. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to take just a couple minutes here and read from you page 8, chapter 1. This is the very first page of the book. And just to set it up for you, the prologue sets up the whole book by describing my experience when I first went to the movie Frozen with my children in 2013. So it was the opening weekend, and I did not know what I was getting myself into. And I went to this show, and it just floored me and had just this huge impact on me, mostly because I could relate to some of these characters. So let me share from the beginning now of the book. Watching Frozen reminded me that I wasn't always so cold and cynical. The movie awakened my childlike aspiration for freedom to express my internal world with passionate creativity. As a young, empathetic girl, I had desperately wanted to connect deeply with others and have an extraordinary impact. But it seemed that the only way to secure those things was to gain and maintain respect from others. I was sure I could accomplish that goal by being the best me I could be. So I'd set out to be good, strong, and competent. Little did I know that my determination to earn respect for those qualities would become the very thing that drove a wedge between me and the meaningful relationships I so desperately craved. As the years went by, the ideal self I constructed was mercifully dismantled in phases. And bit by bit, the realization dawned that in protecting my image, I had paralyzed my ability to release the beautiful power I actually had to offer the world. The day I saw the movie, I was still harboring pain and bitterness. My heart was still frozen. But I felt less alone as I watched Elsa struggle to reconcile the power inside of her with the needs of the people around her. That day, I began to believe that Elsa wasn't the only one who needed to let it go. So this idea of letting go. When I first saw the movie, I thought, wow, this concept of letting go, like I knew I'd heard it used before in terms of releasing, like letting go, like releasing control, that sort of thing. Like, okay, I can't control this. I'm going to let it go. You know what I mean? But when I saw Frozen for the first time, it hit me in a completely different way. For me, when I was watching Elsa letting it go, what she was letting go was she was releasing her powers. She was expressing herself. So I don't know if you've seen the video or the movie lately, but she is just, her hands just make these big movements, and this ice is coming out of her hands, and she's creating things, and she is running up this mountain, and she kind of looks at this chasm and realizes, you know what? I'm going to build myself a staircase so I can get up to the top of this mountain. And that's what she does. She throws her hands down and then pushes them out, and ice just forms right in front of her as she's running up the stairs. They are being created one right after the other. And she's just going for it. And then she gets up to the top of this mountain, and I don't know if you can hear the smile in my voice. I'm just like, I love this scene. She gets up to the top of this mountain, and then she creates this castle. And it's just like this magnificent castle, this huge, huge structure that's really quite unnecessary, but I get it. It's like I need to just release all of the gifts that I have and see what I'm actually capable of. And she does it. And she just makes this enormous structure that really nobody else can live in but her. But, you know, at least it's this opportunity, this first opportunity for her to really let it go. And so it's letting go in the sense of I am allowing my gifts, my powers to come out, and letting go of the things that I was holding back, letting go of my message, releasing it and letting it out, letting go of the things that I'm holding back out of fear, like taking a risk, letting it out, seeing what might happen, seeing how exciting that can be. So today is my birthday. And for my birthday, I wanted to release this episode and share a vision I have for you that maybe the things that you're holding back, your ideas, your initiative, your leadership, your assertive communication, that maybe those things that you're holding back, that maybe it's time to let those go. Maybe you also can find your voice, can express yourself, can release your creativity, and really release your love on the world. Because goodness knows this world needs your love. And if you can express that through the gifts that you have inside of you that you have to offer others, what a beautiful, beautiful thing that is. So, my request on my birthday, would you give the world your gift? Would you let it go? Would you release from the fears that are holding you back and embrace love, embrace possibility? The world needs your love because your voice matters and you can make it matter more.